The previous owner had done some work here in terms of sustainability. He'd built in particular two very nice outside rooms detached, which are realistically the 1883 pigsty walls with a high-spec timber frame building and solar panels on the end and a turf roof on it. So he'd done some, but we decided very early on basically to make something, although it sounds a bit pretentious, sort of world leading stroke Wales leading, and that's come all the way through 2021. We're now classed as a carbon negative business, not on what you're hoping to do, but on what you've done and what the carbon audit's been on and what people have assessed it on. Should really have done that in 2013, but the bottom line is no dirty energy bought this century. Bryn Elltyd here, 2013, running totally on renewables, and then spent the rest of our life making this place greener and more sustainable. The water efficiency of it comes down to the water meter to begin with. That will tell you how much water you're using and if you've got any leaks. Buying white goods that are very, very water efficient is the next stage. And because we have a biological sewerage system here, which is fairly major engineering and predates me, but with 3 chambers, with oxygen, without oxygen, with gravel, and then a small reed bed and a duck pond twice the size of a tennis court, it needs to be in balance with nature. If I start feeding it on bleach, it'll kill the bugs. There's no electrics involved. There's brown trout living in the pond. The Environment Agency say if the brown trout are dead, I need to close and tell them. So it's got a cost. You actually give the people who are running the dishwasher in the house the right tablets. You give them the right washing up liquid. So things like that are important. We have no baths, it's all showers. The toilets are all low volume flush toilets, dual flush toilets. Some of the more esoteric things we've done, we've realised we've got a lot of rain in North Wales, particularly in Blaenau, and we're taking the rainwater off the roof and using it for flushing the toilets on some of them. And then the spare water from that isn't being used for flushing the loo is going to huge great water butts, and then we use that to irrigate the veg plots. We do that with appropriate technology, no fancy electronics, little clockwork timer, and you wind the timer up and it waters it till the timer switches off. To be sustainable in waste, and we ask them what they want, they won't waste the mushrooms, they won't waste the beans, they'll actually get what they want. The food that does go in outside will feed the ducks, and the ducks love it. The ducks are a brand called Khaki Campbells, who get most of the food from the environment, so they're after the slugs and snails in my veg plot, but they're also after any bit of toast or bacon that's left over. The other waste, it can go into brown bins and go off to Gwynedd Council, but we don't really have that much waste. And a third of the people coming here have got leanings towards eco, so they'll try not to have the waste in the first place. Compost bins are important, we've got 5 lots of those. So we tend to compost an awful lot, which makes me about 1.5 builder's bags full of compost per year. But obviously you don't put cooked food into the compost bins. What we're trying to do with recycling things, it's upcycling really, is that we'll go out, the dining table chairs are upcycled, and I'll take them apart, I'll revarnish them, I'll redo the joints, and they go together, and they'll last for a lot longer than just buying a new one, which is damage for the environment. Outside we've got an old pub, beautiful mahogany and brass outside dining tables and chairs, and it was virtually being thrown away. So bringing that back and rubbing it all down and varnishing it and repairing the joints. Yes, it's work. B&Q would have been cheaper and it wouldn't have taken 2-3 days of my life, but what we've got there will still be around in 20-30 years. If things are electrically broken, we try to repair them rather than your first port of call is throw it away. We have a fence line. The fence line, some of it is pallets, and if you talk to the right people, you'll find sometimes tractors come from China on mahogany pallets. People are throwing away 1/2-inch thick mahogany, which you could use beautifully for slats for pallets or compost heaps. We have a wall on the stream in the garden as well, where the stream was hacking away towards the greenhouse. When it's in flood, it really comes up massively, the stream. So logic says you put a wall there with concrete breeze blocks and put some pretty stone on it. We operate differently in that we put an advert on Freecycle, went backwards and forwards with the car and the trailer, lifted a wall, built the wall dry stone fashion, and then crunched the numbers as to a gallon of diesel versus how much it costs the environment to take the sand, to make the cement, to move the cement, to make the blocks. And the amazing thing is to do it, whether it be with the concrete blocks or dry stone fashion, it's the same time. Certainly having electric car chargers, and we've been very early from 2012 onwards with 3 of them, and the first Tesla point in Wales, 2013, it makes your business more adaptable. It makes your business more sustainable, and if you're using it for your own vehicles as well, it's brilliant. It gives you a double edge, and it makes the sustainability become real, not just greenwash. The solar panels that we have, there are 2 sorts. You've got solar water and you've got solar electric. And they heat up water, which is then stored in a tank, and then that can be used for things. And then there's the pure electric. The solar panels, again, it's not something that you're going to put in that will reduce your expenditure this year, next year or the year after. But solar panels with batteries are actually a brilliant way of doing things, looking forward to the future. It's a question of being able to think far enough ahead, and that's where most businesses tend to fail on the green bits. They look at what will make a difference now rather than what's going to make a difference to the bottom line spread over the years. I make money by selling my electricity back to the grid. In the boiler house, we have £20,000 worth of biomass wood gasification system. So that, simply put, is a bag of pellets, glorified cat litter. So a man comes with a lorry once a year and blows it in, and the cat litter is taken out by a big vacuum cleaner and put into the boiler. It's heated and turned into gas, and then the wood gas is burnt, and that is what heats the house. All totally automatic, heats the whole of the house. We have 2 log burners. The log burners realistically are cosmetic. The insulation of the building is what's doing it, plus the biomass system, which is burning cleaner. The log burners that we've chosen are very high efficiency ones. Again, insulation at the back of them with fireproof board and aluminium foil to reflect the heat back in the building. And that burns about 1/3 of the wood that a dirty log burner would burn. So in other words, you don't need 3 times the amount of wood to go through it. The insulation in the room I'm in now is state-of-the-art insulation. So what we're now doing is we've filled the cavity. You've got the normal brickwork, normal plasterwork, but I've actually bonded onto the top of that fireproof foam, which has actually got plasterboard bonded onto it. Yes, the room is now 2 inches smaller, but the insulation value is so much better, and we're trying to keep the heat within the building. About 1/3 of the people that come here are coming particularly for the sustainability. Some will be coming to see what we're doing, some will be coming to see what they're doing and build a builder and an A4 pad that they can pinch our ideas. And we close for some days, particularly with an organisation like Super Homes, or we've done one for the farmers as well, or we've done one for the local schools, where we give people free tours to actually show them what we can do. And often it's when you can get a person to put their hand on a stone wall and then put the hand on a stone wall that's insulated, and then put a hand on a stone wall that's got more advanced insulation, they can look at it and they can go, ooh, that would be nice. And you can influence people that way rather than bamboozling them with U values and how much you promise that you'll save them. It's insulation, insulation, insulation. 2 of the buildings outside have got grass roofs. That's for several reasons. It's very, very good for the environment to have the green roofs. One is grass and 20 years old, the other one is a more modern sedum one. The colours that you get in them are wonderful, the insects that you get in them are wonderful. You have to go up there and mow it every now and then, but I tend to do that when the steam train's going by, just to give them a giggle. The purists may well argue the insulation value could be better done with other things. It's a balance, really. The relationship with the suppliers, it's really powered by us. Business-wise, we put the environment very high. The Supply chain on the laundry, we looked at the carbon footprint on that. We changed from a laundry that was burning oil to one that was burning gas. Not perfect, but better. We looked at a laundry system where the delivery van was covering less miles. Again, we did that. We try to purchase as much as we can locally. About 80% of which we get is within 18 miles. Now, this involves doing things like not having cash and carry deliveries to the house. We'll buy from the local supermarket, the co-op. Local means local for things. The slate tiles that we've got here are local, the double glazing is local, the furniture is upcycled and local. In terms of the further sustainable plans, it sounds a bit pompous, but we've actually arrived. The sustainability journey, often it's a question of not waiting for grants and looking at holistically what you can do on your own place. Your biggest bill will be heating, particularly the way energy prices have gone recently. It's insulation, 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 and it's trying to find the right people to do it. That might mean external insulation, internal insulation. It might mean that your heating system becomes more efficient. Certainly people that are putting in oil or gas or repairing oil or gas systems and having a lot of money need to think about what other systems they can put in. And if you've got the insulation there, the answer will be the new system will need less energy.